Are we keeping the Mary J. Blige glasses on the whole time, Jackie?
When I sit down with you, ain't no telling, and I'm like, I might shed a tear. I don't know what's going.
The iconic legend, Jackie Christie.
So now, here we are. After years of watching Jackie Christie dominate reality TV, twist every storyline in her favor, and keep Doug in the background as her silent partner, it seems like the truth is finally breaking through the cracks. And this time, it's not just a little drama for the cameras. It feels personal, raw, real, and way deeper than any of us thought. For the longest time, we saw Doug Christie as the quiet, supportive husband, always standing beside Jackie, always nodding, never speaking out. But now, that silence is turning into noise. And the noise is getting louder. It's not just about what Jackie does on Basketball Wives. This isn't just about a messy scene at a reunion or some petty fight at a girls' trip. This is about control. This is about a marriage that might have looked solid on the outside, but was crumbling inside for years.
I could be anybody you want me to be. You want me to be in a scary movie? You want me to play a girl screaming and scream? Ah! I can do all of that. I need to put on a gun belt. I want to go down the dark alleys. I want to jump over the fence. I want to hurt myself in these movies.
You want to do your own stuff?
I want to have sex in the movies, not real but I want to look like I am.
Okay.
And honestly, the fact that Doug is now pulling away the fact that he actually snapped on camera speaks volumes. You don't just explode at dinner like that unless you've been holding something in for a very, very long time. And the saddest part? People are now realizing that Doug's been hurting in silence. You can go back and re-watch old episodes and see it. The way he avoids eye contact. The way he stays out of the way. The way he never truly engages when Jackie is going off. It's like he disappeared into himself, and we never noticed until now. That one moment when Doug slammed his hand on the table and told Jackie, "That's enough," it changed everything. The room went silent. Jackie was stunned. Even the cast looked around like, did that just happen? Because Doug has always been the calm one, the peacemaker, the man who never raised his voice. So for him to break character like that and do it in front of cameras, you already know it wasn't just about that one night. That was 20 years of pressure exploding in one sentence. And that makes you wonder. How long has Doug been silently suffering? Now we're hearing stories from family, especially from his daughter from a previous relationship, and they're painting a troubling picture.
Hello. It was rude of me. I didn't introduce myself. I'm Chantel. I'm Jackie's daughter. Nice to meet you. I'm Chantel, Jackie's daughter. Nice to meet you.
She says Doug missed important family events not because he didn't care, but because Jackie kept him from going. She says Jackie would answer his phone, control his calendar, and even decide who he could speak to. That's not love. That's power. That's control disguised as loyalty. And here's what makes it even deeper: Jackie's own daughter Chantel has been dropping hints for years. She's suggested before that her mother manipulates everything behind the scenes, including Doug.
Where do you want me to start? What do you want me to tell you?
Tell me about him. Who is he? What's he? You know.
I ain't gonna tell you too
I know
much,
he
but
played basketball.
He does play basketball. Him and Dad actually have a lot of similarities. He used to play for the Kings like years ago. So
Hold on. Wait, stop the press. He used to play for the Kings?
Yes.
Shannon, you lying to me. You kept this close to your chest like I've never seen, Benna.
But now, with the stepdaughter speaking out too, the stories are lining up. And it's getting harder and harder to ignore. For years, fans thought Jackie and Doug's annual vow renewals were sweet. Something romantic. But now, people are looking back and asking if those weddings were more about control than love. Maybe Jackie kept renewing those vows to keep Doug tied to her, not emotionally, but psychologically. It wasn't about falling in love all over again. It was about reminding him who's in charge. And you know what's even more heartbreaking? Doug probably went along with it just to keep the peace. To avoid conflict. To make things easier. But how many years can someone pretend everything's fine before they reach their limit? That's the point we've reached.
I could be anybody you want me to be. You want me to be in a scary movie? You want me to play a girl screaming and scream? Ah! I can do all of that. I need to put on a gun belt. I want to go down the dark alleys. I want to jump over the fence. I want to hurt myself in these movies.
You want to do your own stuff?
I want to have sex in the movies, not real but I want to look like I am.
Okay.
We're not talking about reality TV drama anymore. This is bigger. It's about a man who may have been cut off from his family, isolated from his friends, and kept in the shadows, all while smiling through it and playing his role. The loyal husband. The quiet support system. The background player in Jackie's spotlight. But guess what? The background is now stepping forward. And fans are noticing. They're rewatching old episodes with new eyes. They're seeing the hesitation in Doug's face. The pain in his eyes. The silence that now feels more like suppression than peace. One fan said, Doug looked like he was blinking Morse code for help since 2014. Another tweeted, you could see it in his eyes that man was emotionally locked down. Now people are asking, was Jackie ever really in love with Doug, or was she just in love with the idea of being Jackie and Doug? Was the marriage built on love or on image? Let's be real, Jackie always made herself the center of attention. That's nothing new. But now, it's becoming clear that Doug's presence wasn't just about support, it was part of the brand. The stable NBA husband. The calm balance to her chaos. The steady hand that gave her wild personality just enough credibility to keep fans intrigued. But now, that balance is gone. Doug isn't showing up to events. He's not smiling next to her like before. He's not giving the supportive nods anymore. And Jackie looks off. Like she knows something is slipping away.
I don't really recall like a family photo that we all took together. She was always like the outcast. Like my mom would go as far as to, Kari, you have to run on the treadmill, and Shanny, you stand there and watch her and you write down what time she got on and what time she got off. It's ridiculous. Like she's like 12. I'm like 8. Like you want me to stand here and watch her run on this treadmill because she's not the size that I am, or she's not the color that I am.
And it is. Because when the quiet ones finally speak, they don't just whisper, they roar. Doug has been quiet for over 20 years. But when he slammed that table and said, that's enough, it was like the entire illusion shattered. Suddenly, it wasn't just Jackie's world anymore. It was Doug's reality finally breaking through. So what happens now? Does Doug finally take a stand for himself and start to rebuild the connections Jackie allegedly pushed him away from? Does he find his voice and let people see who he really is, not Jackie's sidekick, but a man with his own story to tell? Or does Jackie do what she's always done, spin this into another dramatic plot twist, turn the tables, cry on camera, plan another wedding, and pretend like everything's perfect? Only time will tell. But what we do know is this: the cracks in the Christie empire are showing. And no matter how hard Jackie tries to patch them up with tears, drama, or another storyline, people are finally paying attention. We're seeing Doug. We're hearing him. And we're realizing that maybe he was never really okay. This might be the beginning of something we never thought we'd see: Doug stepping out of Jackie's shadow. And the world is watching. So if you're still here, thank you for listening. This story isn't over, not by a long shot. Make sure to hit that like button if this video opened your eyes. Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Doug is finally done? Do you believe the family members speaking out? Or is this just the start of something even messier? So now, here we are. After all these years of Jackie Christie being the loudest voice in the room, always taking center stage and running the show, things are shifting. And this time, the change didn't come with a new cast member or some petty drama on a girls' trip. No, this time, the shift came from someone we've barely heard from: Doug Christie. For so long, Doug has been the calm one. The quiet one. The man who stood behind Jackie with a nod, a smile, and a whole lot of silence. He never interrupted her chaos. He never challenged her authority. If Jackie was the storm, Doug was the umbrella, just trying to keep things together, no matter how wild it got. But now, that umbrella's broken. And the storm is turning inward. Doug snapping at that dinner table, telling Jackie that's enough, wasn't just a moment of frustration. That wasn't about whatever argument was happening on the surface. That was years of silence breaking wide open. That was emotional exhaustion finally spilling out. That was a man who's been pushed to his breaking point, and it showed. And the room felt it. You could see it on everyone's face. The cast members looked stunned. Jackie's expression froze. The energy shifted. Because when a man like Doug, who has spent decades staying calm and in control, finally raises his voice, you know something serious is going on behind the scenes. Let's be honest, for years, people thought Jackie and Doug had some kind of fairy tale marriage. They were different from the others. While the rest of the cast dealt with cheating scandals, messy divorces, or absent partners, Jackie proudly showed off her husband. She said they were one person. She made sure everyone knew they were solid. She even made him remarry her every year to prove it. But now, fans are starting to ask the tough questions. Was that romance? Or control? Because now we're hearing more than just rumors. We're hearing from family. Doug's own daughter from a previous relationship is speaking out, and what she's saying lines up with everything we're starting to see. She claims Jackie kept Doug away from his family, made sure he didn't attend certain events, blocked phone calls, and even answered his phone to control who he could talk to. That's not just protective. That's not just keeping things tight, like Jackie used to say. That's possessiveness. That's control. Even Jackie's daughter Chantel has hinted at this for years, that Jackie does whatever she wants, and Doug just goes along with it to avoid drama. And now, people are seeing the pattern. They're rewatching old clips with fresh eyes. They're noticing how Doug always seemed quiet, distant, even sad in scenes where Jackie was front and center. It's like he was fading into the background. Like he was slowly disappearing while she turned their relationship into a show. Some fans have said it best: Doug looked like he's been blinking in Morse code for help since 2014. And it's sad because maybe we missed it. Maybe we were so focused on Jackie's chaos that we didn't notice the quiet suffering happening just inches away from her. Now, the big question is, what happens next? Does Doug finally pull back for good and reclaim his voice? Does he reconnect with the family members he's been separated from? Does he take a step away from the show, from the spotlight, and from Jackie's control? Or does Jackie do what she always does, flip the narrative, cry on camera, plan another vow renewal, and spin the situation into another dramatic season arc? Because let's be real, Jackie knows how to turn a scandal into a storyline. She's done it before. But something feels different this time. This doesn't feel like reality TV. This feels like real life. And it looks like the mask might be slipping. Fans are watching closely now. And for the first time, they're not just focused on Jackie. They're looking at Doug. They're listening. And they're seeing a man who might have spent years in the background, not because he wanted to, but because he didn't know how to break free. And now that he's finally cracked, there's no going back. Whether this turns into a full-blown separation, a long overdue reckoning, or just a deeper look into the real truth behind their marriage, one thing is clear: the Christie empire is no longer untouchable. The foundation is shaking. And we're all watching it unfold, brick by brick. So if you've made it this far in the video, thank you. You've been riding this emotional wave right alongside us. Now it's your turn to weigh in. What do you think is really going on behind the scenes? Is Doug finally standing up for himself? Or is this just another chapter in Jackie's long-running reality TV playbook? Drop your thoughts in the comments, I want to hear from you. And if you felt this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications, because this story, it's far from over. We'll be following every twist, every meltdown, and every real moment that shows us the truth behind the drama. Thanks for watching, and remember, even the quiet ones have a breaking point. And when they finally speak, the world listens.